Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Carly, and today is a little process vlog on my Magna Flora, which is what I'm currently wearing. I will say that the video is a little on the slower side, so feel free to put on that 2 times speed and get through it a little quicker, or speed me up to almost a normal um, cadence. Otherwise, just grab something to knit on and get cozy and relax with me. I hope you enjoyed the video and like and subscribe. Today is May 6th and I made an order for yarn about a week ago now, and it should be here on Friday the 8th, but who knows, it could be late. I haven't gotten too many updates on it. So anyway, I finished up the whips that I had, and so I wanted to knit on something new. So I looked into my yarn stash and I had some Lion Brand Coboo yarn, and I decided I was going to start a new project. So I cast on the Magna Flora today, and I have gotten this far. So quite a bit of progress. I love my lace work, and so it's quite addicting to go through. I am knitting it in Lion Brand Coboo. It's the color, it says on the tag Plume, Plume, but I'm not sure if that's like plum in another language. But it's like a lavender purple color. So it has been quite nice to knit on so far. The instructions are really bare minimum, doesn't do much hand holding. And I've learned a couple of new techniques so far, so that's always fun. I don't know how long this will take me, but I'm just planning to do a t-shirt version, and it's on 5.5mm needles, which feel massive to me now, especially after doing socks on a 2.25. And I feel like most of my projects don't really get higher than a 4.5 or 5mm. So yeah, these feel really big, but it's nice because it's creating like a good amount of airiness. And even in the stockinette, like, it's still closely knit enough that I don't think it'll like show much underneath, but it will be, I presume, quite airy and comfortable in hot weather. So that's what I'm hoping for. And it was a bit of a spur of the moment cast on. I'm gonna go ahead and cast on a new pair of socks as well. But yeah, I'm pretty much down to these 2 skeins of yarn in this plum color, and then the same Lion Brand yarn in like a rust color. So hopefully my yarn gets here soon and I can start working on some other projects. I finally ordered from Knitting for Olive, so I got some pure silk from them, which I'm excited to work with. Outside of that, I just bought some more drops yarn. I mostly ordered cotton merino and drops bell. I want to say there's one other type of yarn, but I can't remember for sure. So those should be here soon, and I should have plenty of projects on my needles soon. So I'm excited. So that's what I've got going on, and I will update you as I get further along. So I love lace knitting, but these are the moments that absolutely infuriate me. So reading through the pattern, I missed the little note that says, for sizes 1 through 5, only complete X amount of rows out of the chart. And here I was just thinking that I needed to do the full chart, la-di-da, going through it. And then I tried it on, and I was like, okay, like I've got to be getting close to slitting for sleeves now. And I go and I look back at the chart, and I did like 6 rows too many. And so now I have to like frog back, but it's so complicated with lace work. I don't know if there's like tricks that I just don't know. But basically I'm at a point of deciding, like, do I want to, because I separate all of my like sections in lace knitting. Editing me here, I just wanted to explain, because I mentioned separating all of my chart repeats and didn't really explain what I was trying to say there. So basically, like, having frogged back a bit, the chart has you increase stitches in each repeat as you go. So like doing the math for me to basically try to figure out where all my stitch markers are supposed to go, and everything like that. Once I finally figure out where I was in my chart, I felt like I was a little overwhelmed by that, I guess. Like, and then also having to take off every single stitch marker and replace every single stitch marker. I don't know, there's just a couple of like aspects within that just felt like a little overwhelming, on top of everything else of literally just having to undo all the work. So yeah, I just wanted to pop in here and explain that a little bit. So I'm like, do I want to literally frog back to the point, to like the row of all knit stitches before I messed up? Actually, that might be the best case, because I think my next thing to do is knit. Okay, so I do have a knit row, actually. That might be the easiest thing to do. But you know, when you have like the yarn overs, and then you've got like the slip 2 over 1 or whatever, and it's just like, man, it's so difficult to read in terms of just picking it up, and going back stitch by stitch is like very time consuming. So yeah, I think I'm just going to frog it back and hope for the best. Ugh, I hate that. That's the thing in like crochet, where even though you're undoing like all the work you did, at least it's not like really complex to figure out what you need to pick up. Regular stitches, I don't mind. I can figure that out, no problem, but lace knitting is a whole different story. So anyway, that is what I am going to do, I guess, is rip back 5 rows. Fun. 40 minutes, and I accidentally went one row too far, so I did have to basically pick it up on the lace pattern instead of the full knit row. I don't know if I did it 100% correctly, but suppose we shall see. So anyway, gonna carry on. So this is how far I've gotten so far. Got the sleeves bound off on both sides, and just knitting in the round for a while now, so I thought I'd come out and enjoy the sunny weather and knit for a bit on my hammock. So that's what we're gonna do today. Enjoying this Mother's Day with my babies and doing something they like to do, which is just relaxing outside. It's so nice to just watch the birds. Okay, yeah, I definitely need a pillow. One up here too? Come here. Come here. The swallows have migrated officially. I've only, up until like yesterday, I had only seen 2. Now, seeing them flying all over. Gonna have little babies here soon, which is very fun and exciting. I feel like this is always good bonding time with Bela, like enjoying something she likes to do. Get invested in all the goings on. I'm not loving this area right here. It's easy to see it. Like right here, I joined yarn and I tried a new method of joining it. It's not the cutest, but oh well, what are you gonna do? Gotta experiment sometimes. So here is how we're looking so far. I have knit in stockinette up to the suggested point before you start doing like the lace work. I think though that I am going to do like 2 more inches before starting the lace work because I'm still pretty high up here. I've got a longer torso. So I think I need that extra length, but I'm loving it so far. The only thing I'm kind of bummed about, like I mentioned, was that area where I joined the yarns, and I feel like that looks a little funky, but it's like right under my bust, or right at my bust line, so I feel as though I can get away with it. Like it will kind of have a shadow there anyways. So, but yeah, so that is the update on my Magna Flora. So I've come to the end of my Magna Flora. I have just a few more rows left of ribbing to do, and then I will be binding off and she will be done. So my plan is to go ahead and finish this up, and then from there continue working on my Canva V top. It's not looking like a whole lot right now, but I'm just knitting this up in knitting for olive pure silk in the color copper. I've already gotten a couple of like kind of snaggy bits where I lost like a little bit of the strand, which is unfortunate. And I also miscounted, or I don't know, forgot like forgot a row of increases or something like that. And so I ended up doing an extra set of rows to fix that problem, which I think will actually be okay because of the fact that my gauge swatch ended up being a little bit small, and particularly in the length. So I think adding a couple of rows here and there will probably be something I'm going to need to do in order to compensate for that. I obviously plan to knit it longer in length if I need to. But when it comes to the yoke and the shoulders and everything and the armholes, I'm going to need it to be the correct depth. So we will see as we continue forward. And I'm just really hoping that I end up with a shirt that fits me the way that I'm looking for it to fit, because this is very thin yarn. I'm only holding one strand. I'm not doubling it up. So it's going to take me quite some time, and I'm knitting it on size 3.25 millimeter needles. It required 2 sizes, and my smallest size was 3 millimeters. So I had to bump up from the recommended 2.75 to the 3, and the recommended 3 to the 3.25. So even with adjusting my needle size, I still ended up with a smaller swatch. Not by a ton, but I know it can add up. So we shall see. I'm really hopeful that it all works out. But yeah, I'm going to sit here and finish up the Magna Flora and then probably move on to this top. So here is the finished top. I ended up going to bed last night and not really working anymore on my Canva V. So I watched some Outlander and I finished the top. Everything is woven in. I did a steam block on it. Bela, don't you dare. Really the only issues that I have are the fact that I joined my 2 yarns in a weird way. Like I tried something new this time, and I'm glad I tried something new, but it just didn't pan out for me. And so it's leaving these little kind of markings here. And it's not my favorite, but I can handle it. I just wish that I had at least like done it on the sides maybe. but what are you gonna do? So yeah, that's really my only issue with it. The other thing, I guess, is just the places where I picked up the stitches on the arms. Usually I do that okay. I don't know. I must have messed up something in my process, but anyway, it's not that big of a deal. I did keep it cropped, but like at a good length. So, like, again, these are like one of my shorter pairs of pants or like lower rise pairs of pants. And I still am comfortable with where it hits me. And because it's cotton, it'll probably just continue to grow anyways with time. So I thought it would probably be best to keep it on the shorter side to take that into consideration. The V's, if they drop, that could get a little scary, but I guess I could always kind of like pull it more to the side so that it would lift up the front a little bit. But yeah, overall, I love it. I love the color. I love the weight of the fabric and the flowiness. I like that it is still to some degree kind of a fitted top. Like there's definitely room and it's still flowy, but it isn't super boxy and oversized. So I also like that the crew neck isn't like choking me, I guess. And it's a wider neckline and has like a little bit of a drop, especially in the back. I feel like there's more of a drop in the back. Where I started, I don't know if you can really see it. Let's see. The back is not the most well done where I began my cast on. I think I must have dropped a stitch or something. So I ended up kind of like weaving the yarn kind of through the gappy bits, and it doesn't look like a proper knit stitch, but I said to hell with it. That's just the way it's going to be. And it's none of my business. It's in the back. So I'm okay with that, but just wanted to share that up close. Overall pattern was pretty easy to follow outside of just being aware that there's certain areas that are indicating steps for certain sizes. And I kind of have a tendency to read the beginning of the instructions and follow those instructions and then kind of forget, like, if it's something that, like, for instance, it says like start this chart or whatever. And so I start the chart and I kind of forget that there is anything below that in the instruction, like only complete this amount of rows out of the chart for these sizes. So something like that, or I don't know. I think it's because it gives you like every row pretty much step by step. It just ends up kind of feeling like a lot of words mushed together. I want to say there was one other thing that was a little bit confusing, but yeah, overall, pretty decent pattern. Just something to be aware of. I don't think it was super difficult to follow. I think you just have to actually just read the full instructions, you know? So that's on me, and I can admit that. I do feel as though the hem looks a little bit different than I do feel the hem looks a little different than in the photos. But I still like it. I don't know if I did something wrong. I mean, I reread the pattern instructions like 3 times and couldn't find anything that I did wrong at that point. So yeah, is there anything else I want to say? So yeah, overall, I would definitely recommend the pattern. I really, really love the outcome, and I would also very much recommend the Lion Brand Coboo. This is the 3rd or 4th time I've made something with this yarn, and it just feels really soft. I love the finished fabric it creates, and I believe it just gets softer with wash as well because I have my Sally tank that I made. And I think I mentioned in a prior video that over New Year's I spilled red wine all over it. And so I had to wash it like 3 or 4 times with stain remover to get the stains out. So I don't know if it was the stain remover specifically or if it was the washing, but that fabric softened up so much. I mean, this is still really soft as it is, but it did, yeah, it got really soft. So I think it gets softer with washing. But yeah, it works well, I think, with lace work. It's not too splitty, I don't think, anyways, but I also don't tend to have too many issues with yarn if it's a little splitty. And you just kind of go into it with the mindset of expecting that anyways. So yeah, anyway, that is the Magna Flora. I definitely could see redoing this top in a boxier fit at some point and potentially even a long sleeve. Because I do quite like the neckline and I like the flowiness of it. And I think it would be nice to have a more oversized, relaxed fit version. But I'm really glad with this one, and it's exactly the type of fit that I was looking for. So thumbs up to the Magna Flora. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next week.
Cleveland's words echoed like a death knell across the ridge. The battle I'd so dreaded now cast its shadow before us. And though I had conquered time itself, I stood powerless as it marched my beloved towards a fate I could not change.
Or could I?